Elasticity of supply. New topic. There are 5 types of elasticity of supply. In this video, we will be doing first two. Perfectly inelastic supply and perfectly elastic supply. Now, what do you mean by perfectly inelastic supply? Inelastic matlab name only suggests it does not change. Okay. Even if the price is changing, the supply does not change. It is inelastic. इलास्टिक होता है तो वो खिंचता है ना, चेंज होता है. यदि इनइलास्टिक है, फॉर एग्जांपल स्टील रॉड को क्या खींचोगे, वो खींचेगा ही नहीं, वो एकदम इनइलास्टिक है बिकॉज इट डज नॉट चेंज. ओके, व्हेन देयर इज नो चेंज इन क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड, फर्स्ट की वर्ड और की लाइन, नो चेंज इन क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड, no change in quantity supplied at all. With change in price is changing but the quantity supplied is not changing. So when there is no change in quantity supplied with the change in price of the product, supply of commodity becomes completely inelastic. So when it is completely inelastic, uski elasticity hai kaisi? Zero. So you can also say we are reading perfectly inelastic supply in terms of price. So elasticity or price elasticity of supply is zero. Now let's understand with the help of graph. On x-axis you have quantity, y-axis you have price. At P price you had Q quantity, and this was the point. When price increased from P to P1, again you are demanding the same amount of quantity supplied have not changed. Demanding in the sense you are supplying same amount of quantity as a producer, because we are reading supply. So when price increased from P to P1, as a supplier or manufacturer, you are again supplying same amount of quantity. When price decreased from P to P2, again you are supplying the same amount of quantity. So when you join these 3 points, you get a straight line, that is a vertical line. A standing straight line is called as a vertical line, and this vertical line is parallel to y-axis. Supply curve is vertical line. This is a vertical line parallel to y-axis, and elasticity of supply or price elasticity of supply here is 0. Now perfectly elastic supply, it will change indefinitely. So if there is infinite change, you can't even measure the change. If there is infinite change in quantity supplied in response of a small change in price have changed at a very small pace, but the quantity supplied changes infinitely, the supply of that commodity is said to be perfectly price elastic. For example, price was 3 and the quantity supplied was 2 units. Price may be 3.01. So we are keeping it as 3 only. Very slight change in price. So quantity supplied 5. Now price is more or less the same only. Quantity supplied is from 2 to 5 units. So x-axis quantity, y-axis price. When price is 3, quantity supplied is 2. You get a point here. When price is 3, quantity supplied is 5. A point here. If you join these two, you get a supply curve, SS supply curve. So elasticity of supply is infinite. This is a horizontal line parallel to x-axis, and you cannot measure why so much change in quantity supplied. So that is perfectly elastic supply, in which supply curve is horizontal and parallel to x-axis. In case of perfectly inelastic supply,